Welcome back, everybody, to Decadence Weekly, episode 8. Um, I'm back, of course, with my good friend Dread. And, man, this episode, uh, we finally. I say finally, but it feels like a long time since our man Kabu was back in his body, but we were able to get his body back. Um, in kind of a quick time here. And part of the adventure of this episode was getting to that body, and I'm anticipating some exciting things coming down the road for a lot of these characters because we're starting to see the ball rolling of some deceit going on with some people that Kaburagi thinks are his friends, and we see him finally reunited with Natsume rather.
Hatsume.
Hatsume, Natsume, goddamn. Nice little reunion. I like it. Um, and this episode did what it's kind of done pretty much every week for me, is give me some happy moments, some cool moments, make me sort of ask some questions, and then make me super interested for the next week, and then teaching us a little bit more, peeling back the onion on some of its characters. In this particular case, Minato.
Yeah, I was super excited to actually see something about him.
Yeah, yeah. So, I was also like interested to see the director guy. What is his? They say his name.
Hugin?
Hugin. I like it when Hugin is actually like physically present, and he's not just like he's actually like we see him actually like maneuvering and trying to
Not his block
investigate.
body.
Not in the block form. We just see he's still got the Kamina glasses. Um, but he's
I
jumping
straight up
around.
didn't expect him to nearly teleport around the whole storage facility for the avatars.
Yeah. I did not picture him as like a hands-on guy at all, but this is like twice now, because also uh the kind of like the hit on Kaburagi initially, like when he goes to take him out, like he does it. So he kind of seemed like the guy early on that wouldn't want to get his hands dirty with things, but twice now we've seen him actually sort of take some action, and it's probably kind of warranted because he can't trust everybody in his camp. Because Minato is a pretty loyal friend to Kaburagi because he kept his body for him and kept it aside, and Kaburagi's able to sneak Kaburagi. I think Turkey his name is, and Donatello and Jill
And Sark, don't
and
forget
Sark.
Sark.
Yeah, I could go in there to get it. We get a little like Scooby Doo esque like chase scene with them like hiding around corners and stuff. And I like. How about when he snaps when I think it's
When
Turkey
Turkey
snaps
snaps
Sark's neck
Sark's neck.
to keep him quiet. Oh my god, that was funny. Um,
So I want to put like a pin in that because I want to come back to Turkey and Sark because of
yeah, yeah,
the scene that happens at the end. Because we have some talking to do about that.
okay. Um, so and then we Kaburagi gets his body back. Minato and him uh have interaction together in this episode. I like how we actually get to see Minato's real, I'm gonna say real form. Uh how he looks, his little purple, his little like chubby Frieza body. That's what he reminds me of. He reminds me of chubby Frieza.
I'm glad
Um
I'm not the only one that thinks that way. And when he moves around, I think of the Jetsons.
um um And while Minato does appear to be a loyal friend, he also it's still a huge uphill battle for Kaburagi because Minato's not so easily convinced of Kaburagi's actions. He's not entirely understanding of what Kaburagi's doing because he doesn't have the same worldview that Kaburagi does, and he doesn't have the same experiences with tankers that Kaburagi does, specifically, really any attachment to them or any real strive to change things. It's kind of a guy that has seemingly gone with the flow and perhaps was able to climb to a certain position because of that, and kind of I don't know if I want to say, I guess, like, overlooks like shitty things that his bosses and people in charge actually do, just
I
writing
don't
them off
think
as
it's
ignorance.
so much that he overlooks them. I think he, especially when the tankers are concerned, he kind of agrees with them. He openly states that the cyborgs are the superior race. He firmly believes that he's basically racist towards the tankers.
Right. But then he also has, like, I don't like, besides with Kaburagi, he has no problem with sending people of his own race to the shithole.
Yeah, that's true.
Literal shithole. um and so I liked, I also want to touch too on that the escort mission. Like, I just I'm gonna use Jill as the background of this week because she, like, I I like her as a character. I like her. They're able to, like, rely on her as sort of like the little, like hacker drone esque character, getting into things, getting them information that they need. Um, I like that a lot. I like our little. I've been a fan of Donatello for a little bit. I like his brash attitude and everything. So I like our little cyborg team that we have. It almost make like an interesting show in themselves. Um, but we do get that nice conversation with Minato and Kaburagi, and you're like, I don't think that Minato is going to make any, like, reports or anything about this. I think he's. I wonder if this is the last sort of real, like, conversation those two are going to have with each other. Like, because Kaburagi clearly is not going to give up. He's clearly going to keep going with his mission as much as he can, and then hopefully not. Well, is probably going to be hindered pretty soon by people that he trusts. Um, but I wonder if we're going to see him clashing with Minato down the line. Like, where Minato's loyalty is truly going to lie is an interesting question that I want to show to kind of answer for me.
I think they'll have one more clash, and hopefully he sees Kabu's point of view.
Yeah, that'd be nice because I like him as a character. I think he's interesting, and I I also did appreciate the reuniting of Kaburagi with Natsume. Um, it it's she doesn't necessarily, like, I like her. I love her, like, attitude, like, as a character. Like, she's like I wondered how initially that she would be responding to just, like, to seeing him again, and I was wondering how much he would actually, like, tell her of what's going on. Um, and I was also
What
hoping that he would get more time with Kurenai, but I like.
what struck me as weird is, if you remember in episode 7 when he was reading the letter she left, he
Um,
crossed something out. and that wasn't exactly brought up.
Do we know what it? Do we know as the audience what he crossed out,
No,
or was it
because
kept in the
it,
dark?
it, it was it was the letter she left about Pipe.
Okay.
Like, hey boss, Pipe is doing well, blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
And at the very end, he crossed something out of her letter that she left for him.
Okay.
And maybe she never went back into Kabu's home after that
Mm-hmm.
and didn't notice that he crossed it out, which is a possibility.
Yeah.
But I just think it's weird now that reunited, she didn't bring up that he crossed something out on the letter. That somebody crossed something out on the letter,
Mm-hmm.
like, or the letter at all. Did you read it? Did you get it? Maybe that'll happen. It's just weird to me that that hasn't been brought up yet.
Yeah. What did you think about like this reuniting that was happened? Did you I don't know if I really expected like because I guess he can't. Like I was worried about him like spilling all of the beans at once.
I think this is the start of it.
Yeah.
Knowing what's gonna happen and how they have to cross that barrier because she's able to get through, maybe she'll see someone else try
Yeah.
and it won't go so well for them, like Jill had explained.
Mm-hmm. Eventually, this is gonna be a big band-aid that we're gonna have to pull off.
Yeah,
This is
eventually she's gonna have to figure out the truth of the world.
um and how she reacts to that's gonna be really really interesting. Um, uh, I I also wanted I wanted like more conversation between him and Kerr and I because I shipped that pretty hard. But I guess that's just gonna be stuck in my fanfics because they only got a couple more episodes to go here, and I don't know how much they're really gonna feed into that. Um, but although the other interesting thing is our man Turkey that I know you wanted to bring
Yeah,
up.
so let's pull that pin back out.
Okay.
What did you take of the conversation that Turkey was having with Sark at the end there, where he was basically implying that they should betray Donatello and Kabu?
Um, I I I don't know if I want to say like I I didn't like predict that it would happen, but I knew that they were going to run into some sort of hardship that wasn't. I thought they would run into some hardship that wasn't going to be Minato, and um, I was thinking it would be like a force like we hadn't seen before, like somebody else as part of the organization or something like that. But I
So
guess with Turkey,
you're on the boat thinking Turkey's actually betraying them.
yeah, that would be, I guess, my like gut reaction, just because his like, and maybe I'm just falling for the trap because maybe it's just like his personality just seems like that snaky person. Uh,
So the way I interpreted it, and I think if you look back, he obviously has an issue with Sark because Sark almost outed both of them to Hugin.
right.
I think he's trying to eliminate Sark.
See, I took it
I
as he actually like encountered Hugin once more and is like I feel like the fear of getting in trouble is digging into him even more.
okay, I can see that too.
Like, cause he was almost like, and if okay, and it, like in that scenario, like they would have been like the first ones like seen and like recaptured. So Kaburagi could have like escaped still. Like there was like no escape for like Turkey in that situation. So he
See,
could see himself as expendable.
the only thing leading me to believe that he's trying to eliminate Sark is if Turkey ran into Hugin again and he wanted somebody that could really turn against Kabu, I would think he would go to Donatello.
Uh, I think I well, I think he just knows that Donatello is too steadfast, just too like I think he has a line in there about how he's just gonna keep pushing forward or whatever, despite what we think or something. Um,
I I do remember Sark bringing up Donatello in the conversation,
um,
and Turkey did say something about Donatello's perspective and how he acts.
because the other thing it just makes me think of is back in their days of being, um, I don't. I don't remember the name of the team that they were.
Rankers.
Yeah, is that what it is? They're yeah,
Hmm.
being rankers, right? Um, Personality wise, uh, Kaburagi and Donatello, at least in that flashback, were relatively similar. Going into the mission, more laid back, sort of. Um, I'm gonna say respectful of the game. And then they had like that newer person, and then they
Oh,
had
when Mikey
Turkey,
was talking about the limiter.
Mikey, and then Turkey sort of egging him on. And so I think that Donatello and Kaburagi probably have like a pretty, and as evidence, I think like by their fight too. I think that Turkey's smart enough to probably know that like their bond probably isn't going to break. Um,
Right, but since you bring up Mikey, wouldn't it also be fair to interpret the situation as Turkey was smart enough to know that what him and Mikey were talking about were, you know, was public knowledge.
yeah.
And I believe even in that conversation, Kabu or Donatello, one of them said, take it to a private channel.
Mm-hmm.
So he's egging Mikey on about the limiter to cause a problem, which ended up causing a problem for all of them.
Yeah.
I could see him just Sark's the next victim because Sark's an easy target.
Okay. I could see that happening too. Um, I I I also like I feel like I keep saying this. Like I'm happy like I'm happy with all the Kaburagi that I'm seeing, but I do want more Natsume. Like
While being that he's taking her to infiltrate the Gadal facility, I think you'll see a lot more of her.
right. Um but it's just I would have liked more. I don't know. Like I liked like how with like last week like we got to see her
In action.
being badass, and then discussions like with her friends um like having conversations with how her friends wanted uh, her their life to be, and then
Well, so I think what's really cool is every time she pops back up, is we're seeing her in a different light each time.
yeah.
So we've seen her progress as far as the hero. Now we're gonna like see her go beyond that and hopefully not become a martyr.
I thought you were about to say plus ultra.
No, I'm not going that route, but hopefully she doesn't go the route of like a martyr. But
Oh no.
maybe
I think
like,
Kaburagi would be the martyr.
yeah, if anything, Kabu would be.
Kaburagi's got that like Shoutsu T-shirt that says "I'm about to explode." Um, but
But her name's gonna be known after all of this.
oh, for sure.
She's not just gonna be somebody in the power. She's gonna be the person in the power.
Mm-hmm. But yeah. I like this episode. I think it made me like laugh a little bit. It made me, uh, you know, really eager to see what's going to happen with this big mission that's coming up. It warmed my heart a little bit to see our two main characters reconnect. Um,
You even learned that
a lot of good
officially
stuff.
Oxyone is Godal feces.
Yeah, they're pumping
And pumping it
they're
right back
pumping
into
that
the
shit
cyborg's
back into
asses.
us. I love the dialogue in this show. How it's just like she's literally saying like it's shit, and they're pumping shit into us, so we're shit or something like that. Like,
It unironically sounds like something Digi would have said.
yeah, it's. um, but yeah. Any other takeaways you wanted to mention in this episode?
No, I think we'll see more next week.
Yeah.
I don't want to say that there wasn't a lot in episode 8, but it was more concentrated in specific areas.
Yeah. And I think it's a big setup to stuff that's going to happen. Like we've laid down like we like the pieces are now moving like toward something, and now we're starting to see where there might be some hindrances down the line. And I'm so excited. This series, still has not let me down. Got a few more episodes to go. Um, Please share with us you guys' thoughts on this week's episode of Deca-Dence down below. Also, as always, check out Judge's channel as well. Yeah, there's also a Patreon link. I'll have that down below in the description. Thank you everybody that supports me on there already. You guys are really awesome. Thank you so much for watching. It really means a lot to me. My name is Miasma, and I'll see you next time.